Nerd could rise up. It could get elevated. Nerd could rise up. It could get elevated.
Whoa, Black Friday,
Nerdcore
Bam-a-lam.
used to be
Whoa,
just a
Black
made-up
Friday,
word.
Bam-a-lam. Black Friday had a deal, Bam-a-lam. That damn thing gone wild, Bam-a-lam. I keep up with it. Kyle said I'm worried out of my mind, Bam-a-lam. The damn credit gone bad, Bam-a-lam. Well, I said, whoa, Black Friday, Bam-a-lam. Whoa, Black Friday. And
Ironically, the show isn't just about Black Friday today.
Bam-a-lam.
Bam-a-lam. Bang-a-rang.
That's pretty good. That may be one of your better ones yet.
Well, good. Even though I fucked up during the
I didn't
middle.
know what you were going to go with. Either that or like Black Friday sale. Won't you come and spend away your paycheck at Black Friday sale?
Won't you come? Won't you come? Only at the massage parlors. But yeah, welcome to Every Man's Guide to Nerdom, where we are 230 to 40 something year olds who talk about pretty much whatever we want. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kyle. Give me a minute. I got to recoup. I'm Kyle. And if you guys want to be part of the community, down in the show notes below, there's links to our Discord server below us. And yeah, join it. Discord's free. You can do it through a web browser. You can put it on your cellular telephone.
Your cellular phone.
Yep. You can download the actual application to your computer. Doesn't cost a dime. There's lots of conversation going on that you guys can join in on. All kinds of topics from comics to movies to video games to Funkos to the beer that Chof drinks to all kinds of things.
Even if you like Chunkos.
Funkos, Chunkos, Punkos. We got Funkos. We got Chunkos. We got Punkos. We got them all. So
Come on down.
Come on down. And if you want to hang out with us live and in person, we both stream on Twitch playing video games.
Video games.
Yep. Chris over there streams under Guyver Unit 01, GUYVERUNT 01 on Twitch. Mine's shorter and simpler, but more effective.
Much like Kyle.
I'm not that much shorter than you. Like,
Well,
you might have a
simpler.
happening. Yeah. Oh, well. Oh. Okay. Oh, yeah, my dog disagreed. I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah.
It's KSIG, K_SIG. We're both streaming typically on Friday and Saturday nights, playing community games on Friday, playing horror-themed games on Saturday nights for Spooky Saturday. Spooky Saturday.
Spooky.
So come check it out. Hang out with us. A lot of our fellow nerds play with us. You can catch Blasted Props and PC Nerd and Shaunicus and Chove and others. Techno Nerd plays with us. So there's a lot that come in there and hang out and play. So watch us. Usually there's a multi-stream going up. Thanks, Techno, for doing that for us usually. And so you can watch everybody scream in terror in high definition. So we've got that going.
Yep.
So what are we talking about today?
Well, not just Black Friday, but we're talking about, well, I mean, how do you put this? Like, what to get that special nerd in your life?
Yeah.
And just all the news of the shit's coming out, because this is the time of year that just they start releasing everything around the holiday seasons.
November's a hot time.
It's real hot time.
We
Real
got
hot time.
stuff about, gadgets and gizmos aplenty. We also...
I think we got who's its and what's its galore.
You got Thingabob? God dang it!
Damn it, you messed it up. I got 20.
I got 5 on it. Here, let's move this. There we go. Got mad and threw my microphone because I totally screwed up the bit.
Poor Mikey.
Sorry, Mikey. It's okay, buddy.
But yeah, basically it's just the new tech, nerdy news coming out.
Lots of news.
Lots of news, and this is only a portion of it.
Yeah.
There's
we're just
so much, but we didn't want to do like a 10-hour episode.
Yeah, we're just kind of dipping our toe in it because we don't really do a whole lot of like tech and pop culture, like news update stuff. And so we're just cramming it all into one right now.
Yeah.
See how that goes. And there's a lot of cool stuff to talk about though. There's been some big game changing stuff. in the tech world, as far as like PC gaming and streaming stuff and peripherals. There's a lot of big news going on in the social media world. There's a lot of video games coming out, some new movie news, television show news, lots of stuff. So, and we're not going to be able to get all of it.
No, we're just gonna, like I said, dip our toes into it, and we'll go from there. And
yeah, just the tip.
Just the tip. And if this is something that we go over that you think that special nerd in your life may want, you didn't know about, you're welcome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Days like today, I wish we had affiliate links that we could put down.
I do too.
Yeah.
Someone sponsor us.
Chassis.
We
should probably just email them.
Yeah, I think
we've been saying that for months.
I think we're going to have to. So, okay, first thing. NVIDIA recently released in the past 2 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks.
Their new 4000 series video card.
So for all you PC gaming nerds out there, and not just PC nerd.
Not just PC nerd, but this is huge because literally it's huge. I got a buddy who got 2 of them. He showed me a size comparison. He had it standing up, right? Upright. It was bigger than his Xbox One X. It was 3/4 the size of a PlayStation 5.
He sent you chip pics?
He sent me chip pics, yes. And I liked it.
They are some girthy cards.
They are. So he tried to put it in, and he had to order a new case. And he's already got a huge case because he has an 8 RAID drive in there. Yeah. Plus everything else, and like it comes with like a anti-sag. It's a pole. Like you put it in there, you screw it on. It's like ugly as hell.
Man, I could think of so many cool things to do in the case if you had like one of those little support poles. I'd just be rotating action figures out, just dancing.
But he said he has not heard the fans turn on it once because it's so efficient.
So he got a 4090.
Yep. Very efficient. Very, very efficient, he said. And it didn't put out a shit ton of heat.
Okay. Well, let's talk efficient real quick. He's talking like heat efficiency.
Heat efficient. Yeah, no,
power
let's talk
consumption
about the other thing. Yeah.
is a different thing.
So, and the cables, we'll go over that.
So there's a lot. So the NVIDIA announced the new 4000 series, and the first release, and this is what NVIDIA typically does. They release the big boys early. Usually, well, the last couple releases, or the last 2 now, has been the 90 series, which the 90 series didn't even exist until the 3000 series, which is our last generation. So they kick out the 4090 series. They announced the 4080 in 2 forms. We'll talk about that in a second as well. But the 4090 series is massive performance gains, like in some games up to like 1.5 times the performance of the previous generation, the 3090. Just crazy. Like we've had 4K for a while.
Yep.
Okay. Like coming on like almost 10 years since the first like consumer 4K display. This is probably the first 4K high frame rate, high settings capable card that we've got. When we're talking like high, we're talking, holding 60 to 120 plus frames in demanding games at 4K in high textures using ray tracing.
Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah, cards have been able to pull pretty good 4K stuff for a while, but we're PC gaming nerds. We want all the frames. And all the frames. Being able to pull 4K at medium settings at 25 frames a second is not the same as what they're pulling with this. But
at a medium pace.
But with that increased performance came increased power consumption, increased size, all these things that I think
power consumption is nuts on this thing.
Is nuts. Like where NVIDIA released, they're saying like a 450 to 500 watt TDW. Okay, that's their estimated power draw. I think I don't know if that's I can't remember if that's at the wall or if that's at the slot or at the pin. Remember. I mean, but still 500 watt TDW, and that's really more of a thermal thing, but it still gives you a pretty good idea of what it's going to pull. And like a 500 watt power supply was more than enough a few years ago for anything you threw at it.
Yeah.
That's to run everything. And
Now,
so
not so much.
They're, NVIDIA's recommending at minimum an 850 watt power supply. They've had to change the power delivery to, we had, used to have like 6-pin, and we had the 8 pins. I think mine's an 8-pin, my older AMD card. Now there's like 16-pin power adapters, which are causing a lot of problems.
Well, and they're also saying that I saw some of the pictures. They think it's the cables, like cheap cables that they're shipping with too.
Yeah.
And they're melting, literally melting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think Jay's 2 cents kind of broke it fair. Well, the big three, Jay's 2 cents, Linus, and oh crap. What's the other one? Computer Jesus. What's his name? What's that? I forgot the channel already.
I don't remember.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah. I can't remember.
They're a little bit more tech. Crap, I can't believe I forgot their name. Anyway, yeah, and so they kind of talked about it early in the community. The NVIDIA fanboys were really kind of writing it off, like, oh, these are just isolated cases. Like, no, it's happening a lot. Like, this is a fire hazard, and NVIDIA needs to do something, because these are like Founders Edition type cards that NVIDIA is shipping themselves with these adapters and with these cables that are causing somebody's house is going to burn down.
Mm-hmm.
Over at, let's talk about the price too, a $1,600 card. That's
It's an investment.
It's an investment. That's a lot of money you're dropping into it. And there's what's kind of interesting is that that came in a little bit cheaper than what you could get a 3090 Ti for when those came out.
It's less than what I paid for mine during the pandemic.
So the 3000 series is about to get cheap. And I'm for one, I'm excited for that, because now your cost to entry has went up a lot. Because just like what you were talking about, you had to get a bigger case. It's not going to fit in the case. Like, you had to, like, this is the ATX standard, so it's a big card. Like, this is not going into any little compact build. This is a big boy. And so people are having to get now new cases just to fit it, new motherboards. If you didn't already have like some mega ATX case.
I think it uses 3 PCI slots.
It's a 3. Well, it uses 1, but it takes up 3.5.
Yeah, it takes. Yeah.
It takes up like your little slotty slots on the back. It's going to fill 3.5 of those.
If you have the micro board, you're done.
Over. And so it's not just the cost of the card. Like, it's a whole thing. Like, if you're wanting to go from scratch, or if you're like, if I was wanting to look to upgrade, I could maybe fit it in there. Maybe. But
if you really stuffed it in.
Yeah, but then I would still have to get a new power supply. I would have to get a new motherboard. And to really take advantage of it, I would have to get the new motherboard, because PCI Express 4. So there's some barrier to entry there. But the performance is there. That's the big plus. And then, but they also talk about the 4080. Let's talk about that. The next step down. They originally talked about releasing that in two SKUs. There was, I think, a 10 gigabyte and a 12 gigabyte version with drastically different reported performance. Basically, what they did is they took a 70 series or a 70 Ti and just labeled it as a lesser 4080 and got called out on it big time. So bad, the outcry on it was so bad that they canceled the release of the lesser 4080. So it hasn't hit anywhere yet.
And it's I don't know if it actually will, because of what they did, or if they're just going to rebrand it.
Oh, they're just going to rebrand it. They've already got them. That's the thing. And so what was it, like 2 months ago, month and a half, 2 months ago? EVGA just stops, who was one of NVIDIA's like big partners. They're just like, we're not doing it anymore. And I think this is why. One of the reasons why.
Well, yeah. Another reason is that they were the only, EVGA was the only ones during the pandemic selling them at just basically market cost.
Yeah.
Or just a little bit above, not like, not price gouging like NVIDIA was doing. And they got pissed at them for that too.
There was that. And up until probably, I think it was the 3000 series, like your NVIDIA was not really well, I guess really until they started making their Founders Edition cards. NVIDIA wasn't really selling the cards. It was the board partners that were selling them. And so when you could like buy a card straight from NVIDIA that had really good thermals, really good heat sinks, really good fans, all that.
Everything.
Yeah, for the same or for cheaper than you could get them from a board partner, that really started screwing over a lot of the partners too. That's a lot of why EVGA pulled out of it. But and then I bet they saw the writing on the wall with that 4080 flop that came along too.
No, they did wrong.
Mm-hmm. They really did wrong. You know, and here's what was kind of interesting. So, Jensen, the CEO for NVIDIA, you would think that as the processes get more efficient, the chips and all that, like the foundry stuff getting cheaper, that your prices would not continue to climb like they have, like astronomically. And
they have.
And Jensen basically said, Moore's law is dead. This is what it's going to cost to make a high-end graphics card now. If you want top tier, if you want extreme, supreme performance, this is what it's going to cost because Moore's law is dead. And then AMD comes out. And I'm really interested in how this is going to turn everything on its head. Because I think it was like 4 days ago, AMD talked about their new release of GPUs. Don't require a 12-pin connector. They're about 85 to 95% of the performance their top end. It's a RX 7900 XTX with 24 gigs of VRAM. Roughly, depending on what game you're looking at, 85 to 95% of the performance of the top end NVIDIA at 2/3 the price.
I wonder how it's gonna stack up.
It should stack up pretty well. I'm waiting on benchmarks to come out personally just to look. I'm not upgrading anytime soon. If I personally upgrade, I'm going to do a 3000 series. Catch one on the cheap. But for consumers, there's a couple of really good things here for consumers though, I think. Because there's not a lot of people that's going to buy the 3090 and the eventual 3090 Ti. You got your whales that have to have the cutting edge of everything. They're going to spend the money regardless. They're going to buy them.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to buy them every new series. They're going to buy them when they come out. They'll do all the upgrades. They have the money to do it. Our everyday Joes like you and me, we're looking for the deals.
Yep.
And so if I'm able to go one generation back and double the performance that I have right now, because my car's not bad.
What do you have right now?
I've got a AMD. It's a RX 5700 XT. So now it's 3 generations old.
But it's still a good card.
Still a good card. I'm running like almost all my stuff in 1440p at, even when I'm streaming 70, 80 frames pretty easily. And our like esports type titles like Fortnite and things like that, I'm still pulling 120. So it's doing great. The only reason I would upgrade is because I kind of like, I want that NVIDIA, that NVENC encoder to make streaming easier.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. But AMD comes out the gate with that 7900 XTX with 24 gigs at $999 and the 7900 XT 20 gig VRAM at $899.
They're coming out swinging.
And with a smaller power draw. Okay, so we talked about NVIDIA had a 450 to 500 watt TDW on the 3090, and these top end AMD cards are 300 to 335. And so you could probably still get by one with your old power supply.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the size of them, that may be a whole different thing. But if their thermals are under control and then kind of get their software stuff working great, then
it'll be fine.
It'll be contenders because that was the 6900 series last generation was just killing it. It was doing really well.
And they're still, when we're saying they still are.
Still are.
You can still get these cards.
You can still get these cards. And this is something that I think a lot of people don't always wrap their head around. We're nerds. We like the new stuff. We like the cool stuff. We like the gadgets. We like to be on that bleeding edge whenever we can because we've got that early adopter thing in us.
Yep.
where we're like, hey, we got the newest, coolest thing. But just because all this new stuff came out does not make the stuff that you have worse. My card I have right now is not losing performance because 2 new generations have come out. It's still performing just the same, if not better, than when I originally got it because of the advancement of the drivers and things. And so, financial advice from EGTN, your stuff's not any worse because the new stuff came out. It's still going to perform the same. If you're happy with it, you're happy with it.
If you want to upgrade, upgrade.
Want to upgrade. You do you, boo.
Oh.
So
that's our book report.
Yeah, graphics cards.
Graphics cards.
If you got a PC gaming nerd in your life, get them one.
Mm-hmm. They deserve it.
Or your favorite nerdy podcasters.
Yep, get that for us too.
Mm-hmm. We'll be happy with the 3000 series, like the 3090. That's all. I'll be happy with that.
I'll go 3090. Yeah,
I'll go 30. That's all you got to do. And what are they going for right now?
I think it's retail. I think they're about 1,000.
3090. Before we move on, I just want to see because I feel we'll be doing a disservice if we don't talk about it.
Yeah.
How much is 39? That's Alibaba. I don't want to look on Alibaba, but 3090 price right now. I grabbed one up on Amazon. No, there's still like 1,200 on there, but Newegg had them cheaper not long ago. And then, of course, if you want to roll the dice and go eBay. But yeah, like 3090s are down to like 1,000, if not cheaper. And so they're there. Like,
it's just if you want to spend it.
You can get a refurbished 3090 for like $780.
Forget that. Forget a refurb on a graphics card.
Depends on who's doing the refurb for me.
For you.
If it was like guaranteed by Newegg, then maybe
you think about it.
I would think about it. But yeah.
I'd rather have, when it comes to graphics cards, I'd rather have new.
Yeah, like I said, if it was
I mean, it's going to be better.
Yeah, it would depend on like the RMA, the return policy on it. Like if it was a Best Buy refurb, I bought refurb stuff from Best Buy and had pretty good luck with it, TVs and things.
Right.
But I don't think I would buy a refurb just looking at Newegg from the Frank and Mouse store.
No thanks, pass.
No thanks. Unless they want to sponsor us, then send us one. We'll
Frank and Mouse.
Frank and Mouse sponsor us. So yeah, there's our graphics card updates.
So some new tech goodies. I'm excited about this one. Elgato just released, round 1. Then they have round 2, which is shipping in 6 weeks. Facecam Pro. It's 4K 60 frames per second capable. It's $300. It's $299.99. And it's got a large sensor, bigger than any previous webcam. You can control. I've got the Gen 1 of the face cams, and the software is great. You can, remove noise with a click, remove particles, just anything like that. You're running it. The face cam's great, but this one has the bezel in it where not the bezel, the motor, where it'll track you.
Yep. It's got its digital pan, tilt, and zoom. What's really cool about that, I was like you were talking about earlier about the software. The software has all these preset capabilities. And so, typically like for us, if we're doing podcasts, the video side of it, or for streaming, you don't want autofocus on because you don't get that zoom in, zoom out thing, zoom in, zoom out. But what you can do with it, and it has really good autofocus, is you can if you have multiple angles, right? So if we got one where we're sitting close like we are right now, and if we were like the more active type people where we would stand up and move away to do something else, like the people that stand up and dance whenever they get followers and things like that, you would have a different like focus point. And so what you can do with the software is you can save these focus points. I could have one where I'm sitting at the desk. I could have one where I'm, back far. I could have one like if I was doing a full standing demonstration of whatever. And you can save these autofocus presets. I think there's 3 of them. that you just hit it on a fly. And like since Elgato, it's going to work with the Stream Deck. All this integration is there. And like what Chris was saying previously, the price, they're looking at about $300, which if you're just now kind of getting into this kind of thing, like, man, $300 for a webcam is ridiculous. Like I'm still running off like a little $30 webcam that I tweaked to oblivion and back. But to get that 4K 60 frame, and I think they're talking about some like actual realistic, like depth of field, bokeh kind of stuff. If you're wanting to go the next step, go to the big boy cam, which would be like a mirrorless camera. The low end, just the body, you're looking at about $500 if you find a really good deal on a really cheap camera. And that's just the body. You still have to buy the lens. You still have to buy the capture card to feed it to it. Unless it's like a Canon, but still $300. Like they hit this on the money. And one of the cool things that I think that they did with this as a cost saving feature is there's no microphone in this camera.
Thank God.
And so that eliminates a lot of the problems that, like, I know Chris runs into all the time, where it just randomly switches over to the webcam mic, or some settings and things get reset. Plus, that's extra cost. So if you take that out of the cost of producing and manufacturing the webcam, you can put that money to something else or bring the cost down, which is kind of what they did. They put it in, you get the bigger sensor now. You've got the pan, tilt, and zoom. You've got the cool capabilities with the software to save all these focus points. So, it's very tempting. It's a very, very tempting thing out there. And $300 is kind of steep, like we said, for a webcam, but what you're getting with it
is amazing.
Amazing. Harris Keller did a video on it. I think it's Senpai Gaming is his YouTube channel. Check that out for sure. Where he filmed his entire, because he has like some high end cameras. He's all about the audio visual gear and how to make it the best for whatever you have, and all ranges of gear and stuff. And the video that he did on that, he filmed it entirely with that webcam, and it looks amazing. He said in that video that this is the first webcam that he feels comfortable recommending to YouTube content creators for their everyday usage, instead of having to go to a mirrorless camera.
Which is nuts.
Yeah. I mean, that 4K 60, some of you guys that are nerdy streamers like us be like, well, but Twitch only lets you broadcast in 1080p, which is true. But with that those extra pixels that you get, oh my God, get all the pickles. You get 4K pickles. All those extra pixels that you're getting at 60 frames allows you to do some really cool zoom in stuff and not lose the resolution and the fidelity. It still keeps it really crisp. So it's a tempting thing.
I want one. I think they look awesome.
Yep.
So next on the list,
I know Chris loves his VRs, even though he won't participate with this.
I do love my VRs. Next on the list is our PlayStation 2 VR 2 for $550.
This is a hard
what you're
sell.
getting with it. Yeah, it's a hard sell. What you're getting with it is a 4K HDR display at 120 frames per second, which is kind of nuts for a VR helmet.
Really nuts.
Dual 2000 by 2040 OLED displays. That's
gonna look
high
pretty.
resolution. That's
high.
With OLED, if you all didn't know, black is actually black.
Yeah.
If you don't have an OLED, black's a mix of colors. But with OLED, it's black is true dark black.
Yeah.
So I'm actually interested in how this works. Like if it's going to be agnostic or not, or you know what I mean? Like just what they're going to end up doing with it, or if it's only like, no, only for PlayStations.
My money is it's going to be only for PlayStation. Sony's pretty tight with their stuff like that, because the only thing they have PC side is now they're releasing their exclusives on PC now, where you can grab those. Yeah. But I really doubt that this will be PC compatible at all, which is a shame, because that's an amazing display.
That's nuts at how cool that is.
Yeah,
like that is absolutely nuts.
Now, something that is in our realm, but not in our price range.
No, which I want bad.
Yeah. Oh God, this thing is so cool for what it can do. We got the MetaQuest Pro. So let's roll back into some nomenclature here for those that are not familiar. This started off, the MetaQuest Pro is the latest iteration of what started off as, you had the Oculus,
Mm-hmm.
and the Oculus Quest 2. And then Oculus was purchased by Facebook, so the Oculus Quest is now the MetaQuest.
Yep.
And now we have the MetaQuest Pro, which is, what I've gathered, is geared more towards professional usage.
That's
Right?
what I got too. Yeah.
Kind of got out, but it's got some really cool features. 256 gig storage on deck, which is on par with the top end Oculus 2 right now. 10 VR sensors. Okay. And so you think back into the, not necessarily the early days, but like the mid days of VR, and you had to have like the whole light box set up and cables and stuff everywhere because the sensors were in the room.
Yep.
Not necessarily user friendly. You had to have a really dedicated space to be able to do this. Where Oculus really came in is the sensors were in the headset, the sensors were in the hand controllers,
Right.
which allowed you way more freedom of movement. Maybe not as powerful like as a HTC Vive. There's a lot more power there. And a lot of the tracking was probably better with those boxes. But now with this many sensors, I can't remember how many are on the headset itself. The hand controllers have sensors. I think there's I want to say 6 on the headset and 2 on each hand controller, something like that. And so this allows for, better tracking of your hands to the point where, and I know you've probably experienced this too, with the because we both have Quest 2s.
Mm-hmm.
That if you're playing a shooting game and you go to put your pistol at your side, you lose the tracking, it loses sight of it. This is almost really close to full body tracking, along with tracking sensors inside the headset that can read your facial expressions,
which is nuts.
Mm-hmm. And so when we're doing our little VR chat thing, it will actually move with your mouth. You can raise your eyebrow. You can
do all sorts of stuff with it.
Yeah, so I think this is where that professional side of it comes from, where if you're wanting to have a professional VR type meeting, which I don't know who is doing this, but apparently people are.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah, you're not having that blank slate avatar looking at you while somebody's talking. You can actually see facial expressions. You can see them raise their eyebrows, move their head around. It tracks that a little bit better, so that adds a lot more of the human element to it. But what is also cool, because you have those sensors on the controllers. Those controllers have Snapdragon processors in there. I didn't get the version down on that, but when you think Snapdragon processors, the ones they put in those controllers are the equivalent of what's sitting in your smartphone if you have Android.
So I don't know. I wish it wasn't so damn expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And then you and I could get one. I mean, that was the big draw for the Oculus Quest 2.
Yeah.
What's the price?
$200 to $500, but I got mine used on Facebook Marketplace, the 256 gig version, $200, barely used.
Awesome.
That was worth the drive to pick up, barely used, and you can find these older models, those Quest 2s, on Facebook Marketplace cheap, because we got to be honest with ourselves. They're still a novelty.
Yep.
They're not your everyday game thing. Now, my kids use it every day, every single day. If you're a parent and you've got kids and you're trying to, oh God, it is so worth it, because if you're trying to come up with a reward system for them to do, hey, do this, and TV doesn't work anymore. Certain things don't work anymore. But hey, I use this, for my little guy, which I'm probably gonna get roasted for this because he's literally oh, you're not supposed to put a little kid in VR. I watch him usually, and I limit his time. But
as long as he doesn't get into daddy's VR games, we're good.
Yeah, we're fine. They're don't go into that folder.
No.
Stay on the tax folder. That's the tax info.
Horny demons.
Oh my God, here we are again. Fight them off.
It's demons with horns.
Yeah. But I'm hey, and he's 7 now, and so his chore range is limited, but his chore range expanded when I was you clean up the entire living room You get 15 minutes on the VR, that little dude will clean like he owes somebody money. Okay. He is just like cleaning like a fool. And then he's like, can I play on the VR now? I'm like, yeah. And then he'll go in there and play, was it Blade and Sorcery? Like he plays that. And then, or he'll play, like I know your kids love Job Simulator.
Uh-huh. And Vacation Simulator.
Mm-hmm. So he loves those too. And like I was in there
High
the other day, and like he was just like he wasn't doing his normal sword fighting thing. He was just like slowly moving around. Like he looked extremely serious at what he's doing. Like what are you doing? He's like, I'm working. Like he sounded like he'd been at the job for like 8 hours.
I'm working.
Trying to finish my shift here at the old convenience store, and like I could hear the cash register going. He's just like working his little butt off. I'm like, okay, good. So, and then for our gathered esports interest, there's some traction gaining for like Beat Saber VR and stuff like that. So, my daughter's training really hard in case that becomes a thing,
which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So next up,
more tech news.
Elon Musk finally got forced to buy Twitter for $44 billion.
That was kind of odd, like, because when he backed out of it originally, or was announcing, like, I don't want to do this, now I don't want to do it.
Yep, I guess but he already signed.
He was he was in too deep on that, and like now he had to buy it. And it's really shaking some things up, and it's become extremely polarizing. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I think it's so dumb how polarizing it's become on some things. Personally, I'm like, it's Twitter. I get some of it, and I get like I still remember the stories of Twitter's early days. When the guy was actually able to be saved from some captivity because of a tweet that he sent out, like, and that was years ago. Like, what's a Twitter? How did it save this guy?
How's it there? But now it's becoming rife with misinformation again.
Oh yeah,
not just political, but like everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first thing he did was fired the CEO, the top execs, and then yesterday, 2 days ago, he laid off 75% of the fact checkers.
Yep. And so I wonder. Now here's the thing, though. Laying off the fact checkers. How much stuff that slipped through that probably should not have slipped through. And
it's just wide open now.
Yeah. And this isn't like necessarily getting to the debate of the free exchange of information and what shouldn't be censored and what should. He owns it. He can do whatever the hell he wants to with it now.
Yep.
If we're going to be like 100% honest about it, he can do what he wants. He could shut the whole thing down. It's his. And that's part of the thing that, Twitter was a publicly traded company.
Mm-hmm.
You could buy stocks in Twitter on the, I think it was on the NASDAQ, maybe, so it's publicly traded. You had stockholders, you had, and when you get into that,
everything,
that publicly traded company, whatever, your integrity can really go out the window because now you're not trying to please the customers. Now you're not necessarily trying to accomplish whatever your mission is. You're trying to please the shareholders and make that stock price go up and help them make more money. And, he's got more control over it now. He can do whatever he wants to with it, love it or hate it. That's how it is with it because now it's a private company. And the spread of misinformation, not just on Twitter, social media in general is rampant. And you can get into either side of that you want, that like it should just be Wild West open. Anybody can share whatever they want to. You take on the personal responsibility of fact checking it yourself and coming up with your own conclusions, or that they have a social responsibility to make sure that dangerous misinformation is not spread. And that's a really slippery slope to get on, I think, especially for us here in America. Because we really kind of get on our high horse sometimes about free speech, and a lot of people don't really understand the true meaning of free speech. It doesn't mean what everybody seems to want to cast it out there as, is like, you can say whatever you want, and it just prevents you from persecution from the government. But, and not in all cases, but that spread of misinformation can be extremely dangerous. And so him getting rid of all the fact checkers I think we're just gonna have to wait and see, honestly. Is he going to be able to insert any bias that he has one way or the other into the fact checking? Is he just going to let it go and let it run rampant? It's going to be really interesting to see. Now, I think like one of the things that he has really went on about is the elimination of bots and getting away from a majority of the advertising coming, or a majority of the revenue coming from advertising. Twitter's free, or was, for, and still is for like probably 99% of the users. And so it had to make money somehow, and it had to make money from advertising. So the ads and things that you see on there, the data collection about what you look at, what you click on. You always hear the things about what Google does with collecting of your data. Twitter, Facebook, all do the same thing. It's a free platform. They're selling your information to be able to sell these ads and target them. And it's not always malicious, but it can be in some cases. It's targeted advertising is all it is. But he's mentioned that, or he had said that, trying to get away from that advertising model as a source of revenue. One thing that he's now throwing out there that's probably going to happen, and also his hatred of bot accounts and fake accounts, because bot accounts were, I can't remember, I saw it somewhere, it was a large percentage of the users. What now he's proposing, and probably will have go through because he owns it, an $8 monthly fee for those blue check verified accounts. Those accounts are like, yep, that is who that they say it is. And those blue checks are typically only given to like prominent social influencers and things like that. So this is, if you had a blue check, more than likely you're using your social media either to make money or to get a message out there. The $8 a month probably is not going to break you. I don't think. Everyday users like us, it's not going to affect us as far as our pocketbook.
I still think it's stupid, though. I mean, I get it, but
I mean, you can still have bots that
you're
pay
still
money.
gonna get you're still gonna get some of those, but I don't know. It's such a radical change.
It really is.
So I don't think it's gonna be very well received.
Oh, it already hasn't been.
But you know what I mean, though? Like,
it
hasn't been, but I think we're about to see a lot more backlash if he goes through with it.
Yeah, I'll see how it goes. I'm open to see the results of it before, in this case, before taking supreme judgment on it, because if it can cut down, if it actually is efficient at cutting down on bots, fake accounts, and misinformation, then maybe, the misinformation is the big thing for me there, because so much of it gets spread. And before you just like, well, we're just going to block your account, or your account would be canceled or whatever. And so I don't know if him opening the floodgates like this and then reining it back in, and his total control over it, like if it's going to enable the better sharing of ideas, or if it's going to increase the spread of false information, if it's going to totally go 180 against what he's thinking it's going to do.
What do you all think? Because we know what we think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to see what everyone else thinks on this.
Yeah. So let's do some happy news. That's weird that felt like sad news. But he laid off so many people.
Yeah, like immediately, which is what happens when
that's what happened.
Bought out.
Well, I mean, I had read somewhere that on some accounts that Twitter was bleeding out like $1 million a day too, in its current state or in its previous state,
which it's not sustainable.
No. So if you're, if I'm spending $44 billion to buy something, and I see, oh, it's losing $1 million a day, there's probably some people that are going to be let go too.
Right.
You got to cut costs and make it's an investment for him. I would think so, with that much money. And he went into debt over it too. And so, which is not something that he typically does. He usually either pays cash or he gets government subsidies for his stuff. So,
right.
We'll see.
So, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting thing as it keeps. It'll be something new daily for the next several months.
We'll go on. Happy news. Like
Happy
Kyle was
news.
saying. Video game news.
Video game news.
Video game news. Sonic Frontiers. Open world environment. Sonic meets Breath of the Wild.
That's kind of how I took it. Like these are new games that are coming out in November. And so if you got a nerd on your shopping list that wants something new and fresh, here's some stuff that's coming out.
I'm looking up Sonic Frontiers right now.
So I saw some stuff on it. It's a different take on Sonic. I think there's been some open world Sonic stuff in the past that didn't do very well. And when I say we, like me and you, our generation, we think of Sonic, we think of, Sega's version of Mario, but faster. A cool side-scrolling platform with lots of, action and just really fast environments, really cool, innovative type platforming. But this open world Sonic could be cool.
Oh, it releases on Tuesday.
Yep. A couple of these may have already came out. This is just everything that's coming out in November, and we're recording this, on November the 6th. So a couple of these may have already dropped. It's being touted as what could possibly revive the Sonic franchise.
So I just watched a video. I'm in an article on it, just looking at it because I haven't even seen it. You can see when Sonic runs his after image.
Oh, yeah.
And players are already drawing certain things with it.
Well, that'll happen.
So click on this link I just gave you.
Okay, let's look here.
And watch the video.
You may have to share this in the old Discord for you people that are listening.
Yeah, I'm going to put this on the Discord right now.
Is the video that says, oh, God, that's loud. Oh, he leaves a trail
And he drew a dick.
Yep. Well, no, that was an Among Us character. Hold on.
That was balls and a dick.
I may have clicked on the wrong. Nope, there it is. That's 100% it. I'm not going to lie. We would do the same thing.
Oh, 100%.
But that was really well done.
It was extremely well done. And he got rings for it.
He did. Nope. Nope. Nope.
Dun, 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 dun. Look, there's one ball. There's two.
Yeah. Well, I watched the first video, which somebody drew a little Among Us character.
Oh, yeah. No, they're doing that too.
But the second one,
most definitely not it.
All right, I'm going to throw that in the Discord really quick. So, in the gaming news, while we're talking about it, because if I wait till after the show, I'll forget.
That's so funny.
So, more games coming out. And here's one that I've kind of missed out on. I don't think I've played any of the God of War series. And I don't have a PlayStation anymore. I guess I could go back and play the older ones.
I don't either.
On the PlayStation for PC type stuff. I heard the last one was just amazing. And God, I kind of want to now. It's probably a little bit cheaper. I just don't know if it's one of those time things,
If you'll ever use it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so maybe not, but it's continuing on. I'm trying to find our channel to share the video in. We got so many things going.
Yeah, we need to clean this.
Yeah, this Twitch stream, anime, talk, gaming general. Here we go. Let me share this really quick. You hear me? Typey. Oh, did we just do it at the same time? Dang it.
What?
I didn't know you posted it because I just posted it. Okay, well, it's double posted. We got that out there.
Mine was 2 minutes ahead of yours.
That's fine. I actually put some instruction in mine. Watch the video.
Ah, damn it. You might win because of that.
So God of War Ragnarok continues the saga of Kratos and Trace the boy. Just boy. I can't really comment on this one until I play the other one. And I'm so far behind on the God of War series, I may or may not get to this. But for you PlayStation peoples out there, chime in, tell us what you think if you're excited about this one. Mm-hmm. The next one looks really interesting. Look this one up and look up the visual style. The name of the game is called Pentiment. Pentiment. So this is a new game coming out from Obsidian, and you survival
I'm looking this up right now
post-apocalyptic
because this looks interesting.
RPG people will remember Obsidian from Fallout New Vegas and also did Outer Worlds after they kind of got ousted from the whole Fallout series. And this is a different style from what they've done in the past. This is a historical narrative adventure. The visual style is very unique. It looks like, or it was inspired by 16th century illustrated manuscript. So it has this, it makes me think of like the cut or the in-between scenes of Monty Python.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
So you think of those animated scenes in Holy Grail as they were transitioning between things. It's kind of that style.
It's beautiful looking.
It's a really pretty game. It's really good artwork.
It does look like the 16th century, like what you see in the books, like the little pipers, and like they all have the He-Man haircut.
Yep.
And they're all wearing the tightest tights.
So I'm hoping this would have some really cool humor tied into it. I don't think you can do that art style without having at least some like Monty Python Easter eggs thrown in. They have to be there. And it's Obsidian. And so you think of Fallout New Vegas, there's tons of humor in that. I didn't play Outer Worlds, but I believe it had a lot of the same type of humor in it.
In that.
And so this game is supposed to focus on character development and dialogue. So it's not an action-based game. It's not that type of RPG. It's a, develop your character and talk about the dialogue kind of thing. I know you're excited about this next one.
I am extremely excited because I love the first one, which we actually discussed this yesterday. Goat Simulator 3. What happened to 2?
It just didn't. If you've ever played Goat Simulator, this is one of the most Goat Simulator moves that you could make by naming your sequel 3. And just totally skipping over 2. 2 didn't even happen. And this threw me off for the longest time when it was announced. Like, did I miss a sequel? Like, I know I've got the first one and I've played it a lot.
I looked it up.
I'm partially embarrassed about how much I've played the first one.
So, in looking it up, I want 3. I think we could have a blast at it. Because it's multiplayer.
Yep. And they're saying, before I think it was just like 2-player local split screen. What you can do, but I believe now it's going to be online multiplayer for up to 4 people or goats or goat people.
That would be a great Freaky Friday game.
It would be an amazing Freaky Friday game. If you guys have never played the original Goat Simulator,
do it.
Don't knock it before you try it. It's a way deeper game than it looks like on the surface too. There's a lot going on in those levels.
Oh, they dropped the price of it.
How much is it now?
$30 now. Pre-order.
Maybe interested in that. If they
we could have fun with that one.
We could have a really good time with that one. Goat Simulator is very aware of itself. It's a very satirical game.
100%
the add-ons. I never played the Goat Z DLC. That was supposed to be like its take on DayZ with zombies and stuff. I did play the MMO one. And did you ever play that add-on for it?
Yes.
And it's just got like this, World of Warcraft chat going on. And it fooled me because I wasn't the first one in the house to play it. My daughter was playing it. And it's at the time where she was not allowed to play any online games that had any type of chat or communication or anything because she was just too young. And so I look in there and I'm like, what are you playing? And I see this chat feed scrolling at the bottom. And it was so believable. She's like, I'm doing the MMO thing of Goat Simulator. And it was like they did it so well that it just looks like actual like WoW style chat. But there's a lot of, hidden objectives and things to find. You think a lot of like Tony Hawk style games where you'd find all these random, like if you're doing like free roam stuff and you find hidden objectives and things to do. Pretty much the same thing. They took that concept and threw goats at it. So,
okay. So listen to this. So they have, it's $30 for the regular, 40 for the digital. They call it the digital downgrade edition. You get remastered garbage. Plays old school Pilgor, full tank armor, MMO, Goat Zero Skin, Goat Z, space helmet and suit, waste of space, mask of Don Pastrami, Valentino Salami, Dolph Spaghetti, and Humphrey Sibiata. So
this is all these extra goats and attachments.
Yep. they're all people from Payday. Digital soundtrack, 3D printing files, Pilgore, Tony Shark, Goat Tower, and Trinket. Here's the best part, the disclaimer. Goat Simulator 3 is another completely stupid game. Will this game teach you how to become one with your local herd? Probably not. Learning about real goats with David Attenborough or something would absolutely be the smarter thing to do. Like, I think we need to get this and play it.
I'm down for it. I'm putting it on my list. Like the
I'm
next
putting it
game
on-
that I buy, this just got bumped up the list of the
Because
games.
it
that I wanna
comes
buy.
out next week.
Mm-hmm.
If you do a pre-order, you get your own Jiggly in-game pre-utter.
Oh, don't let Chof hear about the jiggle physics. He's been all
don't
over
let-
that.
Especially if it's utter physics.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited. I'll get this one. This will be on the list.
Okay,
still
moving
reading.
it to a wish list.
So
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to play it.
yeah. So our next on the list, this game has already been out. Spider-Man Miles Morales, but it's actually coming to PC now. So we're talking about, Sony kind of keeping things tight, and this
Yeah.
is one of the exclusives that's coming over.
Which I think it looks great.
Mhm.
I've seen some gameplay on it. Looks great.
See this next one that you may be more excited for, possibly.
I did. I've already got it pre-ordered. I've already got it pre-ordered.
I'll let you talk about it.
If you guys get one, we can play it together.
It's only on the Switch, isn't it?
Yeah.
We should probably say the name of the game.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It's full open world and full-on 4-player co-op, which has never been done before.
Mhm.
And your legendary Pokemon, you can ride them. They turn into motorcycles.
So you got mounts.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, it's awesome. It looks great. You need to get a Switch Lite. Buy that for the boy for Christmas. For the boy.
Well, that's what the VR was supposed to be, for the boy, and now the boy actually does play it all the time.
Well,
so
don't tell the boy about this one.
No, he'll take it over, and the girl may not as much.
No,
I've never played. I don't think I've played any of the older Pokemon. The only game that I've
Pokemon
played was like Trading Card Online, TCG Online, and I played that a lot. Played a lot of TCG Online, like hours and hours and hours.
See, I have played the shit out of Pokemon games, and they are so much fun.
Oh, I can see the draw for them. Like, they look like a blast.
They're so much fun.
They just never made it in the rotation. You've seen my backlog.
That's true. I have seen your backlog. Yeah, but it looks like a blast, especially full open world.
Yep.
Next up, Evil West, third-person horror supernatural shooter set in the American frontier. I'm looking that up on Steam.
This one
now.
seems really interesting. The visual style of it looked pretty cool. Really dark, really gritty.
It's full on big time game for $50.
Big boy game. This is something
co-op.
I've been kind of wanting for a while. Like, I just don't feel like there's enough cowboy games, and you can only do Red Dead clones so much, and you really can't top what Red Dead did with their last 2 entries. Be really hard to, but expanding out into other genres, it
kind of looks like Devil May Cry.
Sort of. I think, is that the one? Well, there's another one coming up down the list that's like a Devil May Cry clone.
I'm watching the video on Steam right now.
Yeah.
It looks like it's Devil May Cry. Like, at least the physics, the shooting and stuff.
The fast action and stuff. I don't remember if that one's co-op or not.
It says it is co-op.
Nice.
Online co-op. Could be fun.
Be cool if Steam would say how many people. We still want that feature.
I do too.
Next
that one could be fun.
Yeah. Next on the list, I know Props would be excited about this. We got Warhammer 40,000 Dark Tide.
Yeah.
Warhammer first-person shooter that's really co-op focused. I know Vermintide 2 just went free to own on Steam the other day, up until like tomorrow, I think. So I added that to my library. Looks cool. It's been out for a little bit.
Yeah.
So more Warhammer stuff. I'm not super familiar with Warhammer. Me and Chof talked about it for a little bit last night. But I know Props is a big Warhammer guy.
Oh, he's a huge Warhammer guy. It looks promising. I wonder how many players it is. It'd be awesome if it was 4
Yeah. Or 12.
or
You know.
12. Give us some 12s.
Yeah. Allow us to have between 2 to 12 people and no requirement. You know, it's like you got 2, cool. You got 12, cool. Nothing changes. But just give us a big party. Next, this could be fun. I've heard this teased a few times, but Among Us VR is making
That
its
would
way.
be fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun. If you don't know what Among Us is, you've been living under a rock.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to tell little man about this. I'm sure he already knows, though. He, for some reason, he's obsessed with Among Us, and he doesn't even like really play. But
he just likes it.
It's just the visual of it.
I think it's just that's what it is for little kids. Because the same with youngest of the guy Verena, youngest one.
Mm-hmm. Now this next one, I'll probably let him get, and he'll probably have a blast with.
I think that it's already out.
I think it is too.
Because I got a thing from Meta saying, "Hey, come see this." So I'm looking at Meta Store.
So this entry, it's also for PlayStation. It's been out for a bit, so maybe it just came to MetaQuest, so it's been out on PlayStation for a couple of years.
Oh yeah, it's on the front page of the MetaQuest.
Yeah, and it's Iron Man VR. So it was originally released for PlayStation VR July 3rd, 2020. Just came out for the MetaQuest 2 this November. Let me see what it looks like here. That looks cool. That looks fun. The graphics aren't super great. You know, it's a VR and it's a 2-year-old game that was originally made for the PlayStation, but
that could be fun because you can be Iron Man.
That looks really fun.
Yeah, the graphics are kind of rough, aren't they?
You do get a fly, so that means I'm going to puke.
What's wrong with Kyle? Worst Avenger ever.
I'm Iron whatever.
Guys, I threw up in my helmet again.
That would be it. That'd be it. I would just have to keep a little bag strapped to my shirt here. That I can just.
That would be your beard for your helmet. It's just a barf bag. Because I
already have issues with my beard and that face mask thing anyway. And yeah. Okay, so we were talking about Devil May Cry like games. Look this one up. It's called Gungrave Gore.
Is it based off the anime Gungrave?
Maybe. Or are you thinking of Gungale?
No, Gungrave. There was one called Gungrave. Look it up real quick. The name of the character, main one is Beyond the Grave. Is his name?
Oh, okay. Anime television series based on the video game. Okay, so here we go. We're going in a loop. The anime was based off of an older video game, and this is a new video game.
Oh, yeah, that's Beyond the Grave.
Yeah, so this is...
I always thought it's weird his name is Beyond the Grave.
Well, I mean, you know how that works. But this one's Gungrave Gore. Looks like it's been in development for a while.
That's a South Korean title.
Here's some stuff from like Bunny Gaming from way back in the day showing Gungrave Gore delayed to 2020. And so it looks really cool. And it's got that Devil May Cry style, like even the cover
100%
is very Devil May Cry looking. But this is a more of like a gothic styled shooter. So in Devil May Cry kind of was very gothic-y looking.
Yeah, gothic techno punk.
Yeah, some like H.P. Lovecraft type things going on in there. There was another game that had some of that.
It looks like it could be a lot of fun though, if you like bang bang shoot 'em ups.
Yeah, I love me some Devil May Cry when I have time to play it. You know, that was one of my favorite games. Devil May Cry, and what was the one that was the Devil May Cry clone, but you had a female?
Devil May Cry 2.
There was a female character. Was it Blood Rain?
Oh, Bayonetta.
Bayonetta. That was it.
That the main voice actress is like, "Don't buy this game."
Yeah. No, well, Blood Rain was one also, I think.
Oh, Blood Rain's a little different. That was the vampire one.
Yeah. But it was also kind of in that. I
think you're talking Bayonetta, because Bayonetta is like almost exactly like Gungrave, or not Gungrave, Devil May Cry, except she's a scantily clad hero with like guns in her stilettos.
Yeah, that one was not, even though they said don't play it, younger me had a blast. Also think it had jiggle physics.
It had a lot of jiggle physics.
So there's the top new games that we can. And there's a lot of stuff coming out. This is just to kind of wrap it up. Things that we thought you guys would find interesting. Also, as a request from me personally, if you guys know of any horror-based MMOs, let me know. I was looking all day yesterday, and that are like truly like scary type games.
There's one coming.
What is it?
I think I put it on Facebook for you and I to watch later, because they said it is the scariest game getting ready to be released.
But is it full on MMO, or is it like small co-op?
I don't know. That's what I'll see if I can find it.
Because there are some horror themed MMOs out there.
Right.
They're not necessarily scary games. There's and people you can lump in like Daisy and a lot of your survival games in there. Some of I want to say there was a mod for Stalker. No, there wasn't a mod for Stalker. There was a standalone game called Stay Out, which is being kind of billed as Stalker Online. Very kind of almost Daisy-y looking, but with all the Stalker elements of it from the artifacts and abominations and mutants and things. That looks semi-interesting. I did download it yesterday because it was free. But if we could find a really good, like massively multiplayer game where we could clan up a la WoW and different things like that, that is actually scary. That actually, like, it doesn't have to be scary all the time, but I think that could help fill the void of our larger player nights.
That would be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If we could
I see where you're going with on that.
Yeah, that could really find a place for us, I think, especially with the community. I mean, if you have something where you can clan up, 10 to 20 people and we just have a clan going, which we can kind of do that in Scum a little bit, but it's not necessarily scary.
Yeah.
You can do that with almost any massive, Daisy or any of those games like that. We could do it. But if we could find one that scratched the itch just right, that could find a place with us, I think.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, they really need something like that, because there's nothing there.
There's nothing. And we talked about that for a while last night, that I would really think if somebody could develop a truly scary game with MMO capabilities, like New World dipped their toe in it a little bit. It wasn't necessarily scary, but there were some really dark themes to it, and it was dark and gritty, but it wasn't scary. Daisy.
Well, do you think that the new Dead Space 3, the remake, since it's supposed to be multiplayer, you think that'll be
it'll probably be like 2-player co-op though.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure like Dead Space was just like 2-player. It was in that last run. Dead Space 3 was around that last run of the big split screen co-op shooter stuff, when you had like Dead Space 3, you had Army of 2, you had Fear 3. Or some other split screen co-op shooters, stuff like that. It was kind of in its last run of that. I'm thinking of more along the lines like true MMO that can just be terrifying. That gives us the scares that we get with the horror games that we play right now.
And there's nothing there.
But there's nothing there, and I think there's a really good void that could be filled really well but it would have to be done just right.
Because I'm looking for anything, and you're right, there's nothing there.
There's nothing.
However, top new release for 461 right now is Sex with Hitler 3D.
Okay. Well, there's that.
I mean, that could be similar to what you're looking for.
That actually does sound terrifying. I don't know how many. Is it co-op? Or that you have to pay extra? Probably behind it's probably behind a paywall.
Oh God. Yeah, there's nothing, dude.
There's not. So I think that could, man.
That'd be a good void to fill.
It would be. Decent graphics. Doesn't have to be great graphics. You can do, graphics aren't everything.
Just some of the games for fun.
Yeah, if something is to be said about the types of games that we end up playing, graphics are not everything.
We don't give, I mean, they're fun, but it didn't matter. It's just if the game's fun.
Well, and like when I was on my search for that, I came across a game called Stay Out, which I thought I already had. That's that Stalker online type game.
Oh, yeah.
But I had a game that looked very similar and used a very similar font that got canned.
Oh, I think I remember what it was. It's like Outlast Trials.
Oh, yes, that is coming up. I don't know how many people that is, but it's multiplayer Outlast is going to be amazing.
Did you see the opening video? Someone posted they're in the beta. I'll see if I can find the link again. I was watching it, and it's multiplayer. This new one,
4-player co-op.
which would be awesome. But I mean, still not what you're saying.
No, but I haven't
It's-
even
It'll
made it
be
halfway
this one will be
through
fun.
As much as I like that game, I haven't even made it halfway through the first one because I keep getting scared and I quit.
So yeah, maybe survive solo or co-op, 4-player. Yeah, I mean, we'll still play this one, but yep, we need what Kyle said.
Yeah, there was one. What was Kinetics was telling me about? Oh, Outlast Trials. That's exactly what he was talking about. Yeah, he's like, we need to play this.
Yeah, I'm down.
So there's more games and stuff coming out. And this is just November. There's a lot of stuff up on the horizon. We could
Especially for the
probably
holiday season.
we could probably do a whole other follow up on soon to be released games in the next quarter or two that we're excited about because we talked a long time about just these.
Yeah.
So,
Or like the new Ghostbuster game, which is fun.
mhm.
Okay, new movies in November that we're excited about.
Yep.
First one, which is next Friday. This Friday.
This coming Friday.
This coming Friday.
You all right?
Wakanda Forever.
Oh, I thought like, oh, this is it. This is the big one. I thought you were having a heart attack.
Kyle's note says sad Chris because Kyle can't make it. Chris is sad because
I know.
Chris wanted to watch it with Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle can't make it. Unfortunately, was planning on it, and I forgot I had something that weekend that I have to go do. And so
Massage parlor.
massage parlor. Yeah,
but-
it's not until that Saturday, but I know I got to stay around here fairly close before I leave after that. So
I get it.
that sucks.
But this it is almost 3 hours long.
Oh yeah, really good thing that I didn't decide to go ahead and try to make that.
Yeah, this is where we get introduced to Ironheart, Riri Williams. We see who the new Black Panther is, which I'm almost positive it's going to be Shuri.
Oh, yeah.
We might actually get Manape, which he was in the first film, technically just not called Manape.
Mhm.
We get Namor.
Yep. A very kind of a different-ish version. Is he more Aztec in this?
He's like Aztec-y or like
Inca or
something like that. Which is way different because but if they think about it, because they said Atlantis could have been Aztec. So that's what that's what Coogler was going for. Coogler, is it Coogler?
I don't know.
The director. So I'm interested to see how they pull this off and if it's going to be a good Namor or not. And I really, really want to see how this is going to tie into the bigger picture too.
Yeah, because the theme that we're in for Marvel right now seems a little odd for Black Panther, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, because this movie's going to be awesome, and because we're kind of more in the supernatural spookiness kind of metaverse stuff. So I'm gonna be really interested to see how this all ties in, or if they just pull away from the theme and like we're just making a badass Black Panther movie, which they can do, and I would be fine with. Like they don't have to stick with the theme, but there has been there's been a running theme the last couple of years, and especially this last year. Holy crap, of staying with that kind of spooky supernatural type stuff. And so yeah, I'll be curious to see. I don't think it'll fall in that vein as much, or maybe it will. They got 3 hours to do stuff.
That's why I said I'm interested to see what's going to happen with this. I really, really am. Like, it could be really good, could be really bad. But he did such a great job with the original Black Panther. I'm going into it with just open arms, we'll say.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Okay, so next.
This could be really cool. This has so much cool potential.
Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Is that going to be a Disney Plus or is that in the theater?
I
think it's Disney Plus, isn't it?
I think so. Let me look here. But Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio coming out this month. Let me see where it is coming out at. I probably should put that in there. I can't even spell Pinocchio. Where to watch?
Pinocchio.
No, that's Netflix. So this is coming just to Netflix. And it may already be out. Let me see. Is it already out? It's supposed to be out in November. Oh, they got pushed back to December 9th. Okay, so this is not totally within the November realm, but close enough. Looks pretty interesting. It's kind of got a very Tim Burton vibe to it, the way it looks.
Right.
The cast is really cool looking. We have Gregory Mann as Pinocchio, Ewan McGregor as the Cricket, Sebastian J. Cricket. So I guess the J stands for Jiminy.
Jiminy. So
Ron Perlman's in it as Podesta.
wait, Perlman's in it?
Ron Perlman, Podesta. Finn Wolfhard, Candlewick. Kate Blanchett, Spezzatura. David Bradley's Geppetto. Who else looks cool here? We got John Turturro. And so it's like, it's a stacked cast. Like, it's a really stacked cast.
Well, and it's Guillermo del Toro too.
Yeah, and David Bradley. Did I say who's playing Geppetto? Yeah, as Geppetto. You know who that is, right? He was Argus Filch in Harry Potter.
Oh, he was Filch in Potter. Okay.
Yeah. He was Arthur Weasley in Hot Fuzz. Like he's a cool character. Like he's got a cool visual.
I love Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz is like a great one of us. I'm trying to see some other stuff. Was he in Doctor Who at some point in time? He was in The Strain.
Wait, he's been in something else new lately too.
Let me go back to his full bio here. Chicken Run. He's been in Doctor Who. No, he is the Doctor, or he was a Doctor. Is he the new Doctor? Is he the new Doctor?
No.
Are you sure?
Who are you talking about? What's his name again?
David Bradley.
David Bradley. No, he's not the new Doctor. The new Doctor is gay and black.
Well, he was a recent Doctor.
In Doctor Who?
Maybe. Let's see, I'm looking here. Doctor Who, 2012 to 2022. He was the Doctor / Solomon. 2012, he was Solomon. The Doctor Falls, 2017. The Doctor, Twice Upon a Time, 2017. The Doctor. The Power of the Doctor in 2022. Yeah, looking up on the IMDb.
Dinosaurs on a Spaceship. That was Matt Smith.
Why does it have him? It's got him credited.
He was Solomon there. The Doctor Falls. I don't know who unless he played like the one of the old doctors. Like
okay, that would make sense.
You know what I mean? Like the stand-in for one of the old doctors who's dead.
Okay, he could have done that.
I'm wondering if that's it because he wasn't in. He was Merlin in Troll Hunters.
He was Merlin and also in
Wizards.
He's been Merlin more than once.
You remember that show? Those shows? I loved those.
Let's see. He was in Les Mis, more Troll Hunters, Harry Potter. I'm trying to see. Oh, he was Walder Frey in Game of Thrones.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. He's been in a lot.
Well, he's old, so that gives him the opportunity to be in a lot. He is very
old.
Like his first role was 1971. Yeah, I'm looking.
How do you really feel about him, Kyle?
He's old. He's really
old.
He's got a bad case of the old. Yeah, I'm trying to see anything like from our back in the daytime that. So it looks like he really didn't kind of start catching on to more popular roles until like Harry Potter.
Right.
Huh. That's cool. So that's coming out. The visual of that show looks really cool. I don't see what the premise of it was here. If there's like a short, I mean, it's Pinocchio, right? So there's They just kind of take the tale, stop motion action, directed by Del Toro and Mark Gustafson. I know that name. Yeah, it's just a Pinocchio story. So, and it was canceled. Like he'd been working on it for a while. It got canceled in 2017, and in 2018, Netflix brought it back on. And so, yeah, it looks like it could be pretty cool.
That could be it.
Mm-hmm. I threw this next one in here for props.
I figured you did.
Yeah.
Well, and me.
Well,
One
and
Piece
you.
Film Red. It broke all sorts of records in Japan
Mhm.
when it came out. And it actually broke quite a few records here in America because it just came out this Friday.
Yep.
This
is all you,
Luffy,
buddy.
and it's all about red-haired Shanks. As far as I know, the movie isn't in the current, like most of the movies. It's not in the current universe. It's like kind of a standalone movie, as to my understanding.
Okay.
So, but it's supposed to be amazing. Like, I can't wait to see it.
Do you know where you can watch it now, or if we can watch it? I mean, if it's breaking records here, there's got to be a way to watch it.
No, yeah, I'm just waiting until it comes out on digital.
Oh, okay.
Like, I know the theater across the street from my work has it.
Oh, really?
It's in theaters. So
I thought it'd be extremely select theaters, though, not like even where you at. It's pretty big, but still.
Yeah. No. That theater is like the 450 theater, even on like peak days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What a deal!
Isn't that nuts?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I can't wait for Film Red. It's if you're into One Piece and anime, the film's for you.
And we only for after movies, we're going on just like there's just a couple of TV shows that we wanted to throw in really quick.
Well, and there's one more. Hold on, I'm looking it up. Go ahead.
Okay, throwing in a third one here. I'll talk about this first one because I know if you don't know about this second one already, you're going to be super excited about it. And so the first one is there's a new Wednesday show coming to Netflix that's going to be based on Wednesday Addams.
I'm there for this.
Yeah, they're kind of is being touted as a coming of age story, so kind of like I think it's like a junior high ish Wednesday Addams. I hope they do the character right. I think they will.
I think they will.
Wednesday's an interesting character because if you watch the old shows, like the family themselves, they weren't as like the movies were awesome. The new movies, Addams Family and Addams Family Values were both really good movies. I loved them. Like those were a big part of my childhood. They made them a little darker, I think, than what the show was originally. And, you know, the original show, the old black and white, they were like a really good family and they did good things for other people. They just were weird. And they made him a little darker in the movies to bring him, I guess, more up to times and they could do more stuff with it. And so I'm kind of curious to see what this like next iteration of it will do. I didn't even see. I'm going to pull it up on IMDb because I want to see who's playing Gomez.
It's he was on House of Bug and he's John Leguizamo's friend, Louise. Oh, you know him if you saw him.
I'm looking at the top cast and it's not even. Yeah, Jenna Ortega as Wednesday Addams. Christina Ricci's in it. What?
Yeah, she plays another character. It's Louise Guzman.
So they're not even really showing a whole lot about the family because I'm looking at the top cast, and there's not even another Addamses on there until you get to like Thing.
You remember Boogie Nights?
I remember, but I actually only watched a little bit of it.
Oh, okay.
This is directed. Tim Burton's directing 4 episodes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Louise Goodman is like. There's a lot of fallout, or not fallout. Pushback on him being it because he's fat because they're used to the what's his name?
Louise. Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Oh, he's funny.
No, he's hilarious.
That's a really good. That's a really good choice. Like physically, yeah, I get it. He doesn't really look like what we're used to seeing, but he's like he's perfect for it.
Okay, so everyone's used to the John Astin, right?
Mm-hmm. Catherine Zeta-Jones is Morticia.
Who, ironically, John Astin's still alive. And you know who his stepson is, right?
Mm-mm. Luis
John?
Guzman's?
No. John Aston.
Uh-uh.
It's Sean.
Sean. Oh,
Aston.
Sean. Okay, yeah, okay, I got you now.
Mm-hmm. Patty Duke's son, Samwise.
Oh.
If you look at the original comic for the Addams Family,
Yeah.
Luis Guzman looks exactly how Gomez Addams was drawn.
Well, wasn't he kind of a thicker Gomez? And there was the
Uh-huh.
animated also.
Yeah. Well, and look up Gomez Addams comic. So
Oh,
Gomez.
I'm already on the animated one because I remember and one okay, we had the animated movie, he was bigger.
Yep.
The old cartoon, he wasn't very necessarily
Here,
slim
I'm
there.
sending here. Click on this link.
Addams Family comic. Hold on, I got it here.
There you go. Click on that.
You and your Bing. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
See, he looks exactly how Gomez was drawn originally.
Yep, and that's how Gomez looks in the last animated Addams Family.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, get off your high horse, internet.
So whatever, internet.
You see who's playing Uncle Fester? Fred Armisen.
Really? Okay, that'll be great.
Yep.
I'm there. I think this is going to be great, and that's this Wednesday.
Yeah, that's the name of the show. Wednesday. I told you.
No, it comes out Wednesday, doesn't it? Or is it December? No, it's this month.
Oh.
But what's the day it comes out?
I probably should have put that in there.
Yep.
I did not. Bad flow writing, Kyle.
Wednesday.
Day. Netflix. And we're racing. It
Coming to Netflix in November 2022. November 23rd.
yeah, I just get November 2022, but not
Yeah. It's November 23rd.
November 23rd.
Yep.
Cool. We got a little bit.
And Callie Jones has more.
Yep. Well,
That's great.
We're getting a little bit of stutters. You still good there?
So, next up.
You still got me? Yeah, we got a little choppy there for a second.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. So next up, oh no, unstable internet connection. No.
Okay, let's hurry then.
Let's hurry. Okay, you get this next one though, because I know you're excited. If you didn't know about it.
Blockbuster, Randall Park, or Jimmy. Woo! Workplace comedy, all of The Office, set in the last Blockbuster store remaining open. This one just came out this last week.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm there. It looks hilarious. I saw a preview. I'm there.
I just think like how much of like this is going to be good for one because it's got Randall Park, but also like this is about the last Blockbuster staying open. Why did Blockbuster close? How did they lose all their business?
Well, we'll find out.
Well, it was Netflix kind of put them down.
Yeah.
Like Netflix was kind of like the nail in the coffin, or one of the many nails in the coffin for Blockbuster. So I'm like, this is kind of, I thought that was ironically funny. That like, hey, let's make a movie about the people we put out of business, you know?
Yep.
Or a TV show, I mean. It looks interesting. It looks like it'd be funny. I mean, it's Randall Park's hilarious anyway. So
I think it looks great.
I hope his character's named Jim.
Let's see.
So what's your extra entry here?
Look at the bottom.
I don't see it. I think you're on a different. Oh, you opened up the different copy.
Oh, I did. Okay. Willow.
Oh crap! How did I forget about Willow?
November 30th. Willow, the one we have been so excited for.
How did I leave that off the list?
I don't know, but
I blame Chof.
I blame Chof too, that bastard. Willow, we are so excited for this one. But yeah, Willow.
I can't
Need we
wait.
say more?
I've been
Willow, you idiot.
I've been purposefully avoiding any type of information on it other than when I saw the announcement, because like, you know how I like to, like, I want to go into it totally blind and be surprised. But I mean, we're still getting Warwick Davis. We're still getting, you know, I mean, it's going to be cool. And the cast is really cool with Aaron Kellyman. who we've seen in Star Wars and we've seen in Marvel stuff. Like, it's going to be good. It has to be good. I'm just trying to avoid things so I don't get my hopes up and end up being disappointed, like 95% of my life. So this will be good.
So yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm. If there's anything that we missed, I mean, and we probably did. You know, we left a lot. We couldn't get it all in there. We just couldn't cram it in there. But there's so much stuff coming out, and we may like do a follow up in the next few weeks on more stuff that's coming out. I mean, we're getting close to the end of the year. Stuff that's coming out in 2023. Holy crap! It's almost 2023.
I know, isn't that nuts?
Oh my God, it's flying by. I say that every year. That's how we know we're getting old. We're like, oh my God, it's almost whatever year. Like we didn't see it coming.
We knew it was coming.
Yeah, we knew it was getting here.
We knew it was coming. So,
tell us what you guys think.
Yeah, what do you guys let us know?
Anything that we missed, throw it in there. We'll add it to the list to talk about again coming up because there's just so much stuff coming out right now. You just can't get it all in. Well, we could, but we'd be here all day and you guys would just tune out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys just let us know what you think. And we'll go from there. And then what we've got to, Kyle and I have to plan out the rest of the month too, what we're going to talk about. If you guys have any suggestions on what you'd like to hear, put it in the Discord. Let us know.
We do take requests.
We will probably take off the week of either Thanksgiving or we'll record that weekend, release that Thanksgiving one, and then take off the following week. Yeah. Because Kyle is more than likely going to be hunting that week.
Yep. Be out in the woods like a man.
Which means that bastard will not be playing video games with me.
Like a man.
Like now here's a man.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'll be sending Chris here scantily clad pictures from my tree stand.
It'd be like, oh yeah. Check out
you
those
see me?
Deer horns. And I'd be like, yeah, you don't have your pants on.
That's how I hunt. I'm attracted to my musk.
Kyle finishes up in the tree and I go, what is that? That's his deer call.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
Do I still have the right? Is it this one? No, crap. I had it. This one? Oh, nope. Dang it. I didn't save it. I had one for it and I didn't save it.
You just didn't save it.
God dang it. It was so good. Ooh, violation.
Violation. Gonna kiss.
That broke me so hard. I was not ready for that.
Good.
So many funny things that happened last night.
But you guys, let us know what you think. Without you guys, again, we wouldn't be doing this. We're coming up here in less than 2 months on our 2-year anniversary.
I know. What do you get? What do you get for 2 years? Is that something borrowed? Something new?
Something Shawna-kiss or punch Chof in the nuts.
Let's see. For 2
Philly's
years.
Blue.
And
then someone has a birthday this month too.
Mm-hmm.
How old are you gonna be?
Enough. It's not the big one yet. I still got a little bit of time to mentally prepare for that one.
I got to think of what to get you.
I try not to think about it.
So he just tries not to think. So yeah, you guys just let us know.
Yep.
And with that, this has been Every Man's Guide to Nerddom. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kyle. Wherever you guys are, have a great evening, night, morning, whatever time it is that you're listening to us. And please be good to each other.
Nerd talk, rise up. It could get elevated. Nerd talk, rise up. It could get elevated. Nerdcore used to be just a made-up word. MCs tried to